they're getting close to a deal, so maybe they're going to work something out soon. Maybe they'll split up Matt and Jeff. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think that would be the best move because they're still red hot right now. But,
Yeah, and speaking
looks like we're going to get another of those two teams again. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it. But speaking of TNA, because that's where they need the rights from, it's interesting. I don't know if you saw this. Dixie Carter is going to be on the WWE Network.
She is going to be on WWE programming.
For the Kurt Angle special that is following Raw. So this is going to be fascinating.
Which is interesting because I wonder how much it'll actually show or talk about his days with Impact.
I don't think they could show anything. Maybe pictures.
If they allowed him to, they could do whatever they want. If Dixie Carter said, you can use that.
Well, I don't think Dixie has any... Is Dixie even a part of the company anymore? I don't think she is.
Still, no, maybe not. Maybe she sold her.
Yeah, I would say she's gone, and that's why she's on the program.
Yeah,
I didn't look into it, but we'll see. This should be an interesting program, even without Dixie Carter.
Yeah, how much is there? Because it is a big part of his career. I mean, that's where the best years of his careers were.
Kurt Angle has gone on record saying he's put on his best matches when he was with TNA.
So, I mean, they can't ignore it. They have to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's in the documentary from the preview, and AJ Styles, and he had some classics against those two. So, hopefully we'll get... I would love for TNA's video library to be bought by WWE, just so you could show the Broken Hardy, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, all their best stuff was with that company. But So we'll see what ends up happening with decent match though from the tag teams.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. It was good. I didn't think it felt like a half an hour.
No, and Matt Hardy got busted open the hard way, which is always fun to see.
The last 5 minutes of that match were the best part of it.
Yes,
for
it was
frantic and fast, and it was good.
That's the best part of any Iron Man match is when the clock is counting down and you got to make that last pinfall. What was the next match?
Alexa Bliss against Sasha Banks. Good match.
Solid match.
Bliss intentionally counted out to retain the title. Sasha Banks goes and attacks her. Good match. Definitely was a very good match. Good heel moves by Alexa with the fake broken arm.
Yo, that was insane.
Awesome. Yeah, that was cool.
I was whipping out my phone ready to post this online that she tore her arm. She bent it. She dislocated it, but on purpose to act like she was hurt. That was one of the most brilliant heel moves in the ring I've ever seen in my life. I've been watching wrestling for 20 years, and that was up there with some of the greatest stuff. Yeah. And after the match, they take some crazy bumps, man. Sasha jumped off the side onto Alexa Bliss, and she hit her really hard. These girls are reckless.
Pretty much every match, maybe except for the first two, there was blood involved somewhere.
Yeah, Alexa got busted open.
Yeah, Alexa got busted open. Matt got busted open. The next match, what's his name started bleeding.
What's that?
Dean Ambrose.
Oh, he did?
He bled, yeah.
I'll tell you this.
In his mouth,
I just went on my computer. I did not care about that match. I didn't see a thing of it.
It was
I listened to it.
Exactly what you expect a Miz match to be in 2017.
That's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't anything special. It was fine. It was definitely the lowest of the night. You knew Miz with his Miz-tourage now. He's got Bo Dallas and he's got Curtis Axel along with Maurice helping him.
Yeah, how are you going to lose?
Yeah, no, there's no way. They'll eventually take it away from him, and that's one of those things like how many times are we going to see Dean Ambrose versus The Miz? And I'm really getting on board with you where I'm like, just Dean is just so... Everything is just so... Because Dean comes from those CZW stuff, which is Combat Zone Wrestling, where they're literally crazy, where they'll wrestle with barbed wire, they'll...
Explosives,
thumbtacks. They're out of their minds. So when he does things that aren't crazy like that, everything looks so rehearsed and it doesn't look real.
Phoned in.
Yeah, he looks like he's phoning it in. He really needs to be in those hardcore. I mean, obviously, WWE's not going to bring back the hardcore championship and they're not going to bring back the hardcore division. But that, again, I've been on record saying it. If you put him on WWE television 10 to 15 years ago, he would be a star.
He'd
absolute
certainly
star.
be doing
but
better.
But now
in-ring
it's
work.
just...
Yeah,
it's boring. I don't care.
It's changed the channel type of television, and that's unfortunate, especially because The Miz, last year he was cutting some awesome promos. He still cuts some awesome promos. It's just his in-ring work is very, by the books, and Ambrose
The Miz can do great stuff in the ring, but he needs somebody to help him along the way.
And Ambrose
Dean
is not
just
a guy
doesn't
like
care.
that. If you give him an AJ Styles or a Seth Rollins,
I would love to see Finn Balor against him.
He should have been.
I think that would be a great feud to lead into the next pay-per-view.
SummerSlam, maybe.
Yeah, maybe give him, at least put the Intercontinental on him. The guy's the first ever Universal Champion. You don't put him anywhere near the belt. and you don't even put him on the pay-per-view?
Yeah, it's pathetic.
Like, that's crazy to me for a guy that is so talented and is so over. I just don't get it. And I think if you put him against The Miz, people will start caring again about that, because The Miz was great last year. He was great in the first half of this year, especially on SmackDown. He really came into his own as, I think, a lot of people where, they just didn't even like him. They now respect him.
Yeah, it was must-watch TV, that SmackDown Live. The after show, everyone was talking about that. He was cutting some amazing promos. And I just think Vince McMahon is sour on Finn Balor. And that just rhymes.
I think because he gets hurt at the most inopportune times,
and he has the foreign accent.
Yeah.
And those
and
are two things, and he's small. And those are three things that Vince is not a fan of. Maybe if Triple H was fully
Look where Becky
charge,
Lynch is, too.
Exactly.
Becky Lynch was the first SmackDown Women's Champion, and she's a great in-ring performer, but her voice... I don't mind her voice.
I don't mind her
voice.
But
you can hear it that she has one of the heaviest Irish accents that you'll ever hear, and...
That ain't going to fly with Vince McMahon.
No.
So that he has a lot of hurdles to come over, especially
which is
getting
odd
the push.
Considering Finley is like in the good graces of WWE.
Yeah, I mean here and there you got these foreigners or even these Southerners, because Vince is very much against Southerners as well, amongst a number of things.
Against burritos too, apparently.
Is he?
You don't know that story?
No, what is that?
So there's apparently a story where they were talking about they were going to get burritos, and Vince was like, "Well, who knows what a burrito is?" And everyone was like, "What? A burrito?" And he's like, "I never heard of a burrito." But the best part of the story is that Vince, the only reason they brought it up is because Vince ate burritos every day.
Yeah.
But he didn't know they were burritos. He just thought they were steak wraps with rice.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what you get. If you're a billionaire for 30 years, I guess you don't need to know what a burrito is.
Yeah.
That's
You're
hilarious.
so invested in WWE
Vince
and wrestling.
McMahon, he's all professional wrestling and he's all exercise. So I hear these stories of Triple H not knowing what to get him for Christmas or his birthday, because he's the man who could buy everything and he only likes two things. And, say what you will about the man, but he loves wrestling, or he loves sports entertainment, rather. But it's going to be sad when he's gone, but it could be best for business.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So the next match was the talk of the evening.
Yes.
Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in an ambulance match.
Not the best match, per
No,
se,
the match
but
was
not
all
bad.
right. It was pretty cool. I mean, he did some stuff. But again, I feel like a match like this does well with me, I'm not the biggest proponent of there's got to be blood, there's got to be insane amounts of violence. But when you have a match, an ambulance match where you're supposed to beat someone up so bad that they can't move, that you can put them in an ambulance and the ambulance will drive away, there's got to be some semblance of this is a real violent exchange that's going on.
You know what's strange? They have no problem with using like mouth blood, like fake mouth blood, like the blood packets.
But only for like Roman and Braun.
Yeah, but
you don't see anybody else doing it
But
anymore.
why don't they just use... Like, do they not like the actual cutting? Is that what they're against?
Well, the blading, I think people are against that, obviously, because there's a lot, and people don't want to do the chair shots to the head anymore, because that obviously is not good. It's concussion stuff and Chris Benoit and all that type of stuff.
But it's weird that they allow fake blood, but they don't allow real blood.
Well, it's interesting because for years they kind of have banned it. Fake blood wasn't really a thing up until with Roman Reigns, like the only guy that's allowed to use it.
You never saw blood packets. It was always somebody cutting their forehead.
Yeah, or actually getting busted open
the hard way,
and
like
that
Matt
still
Hardy.
happens now. I mean,
but they want to stop it.
Yeah.
They stop the match usually, and it was interesting because Matt Hardy got busted open with like a minute left in the match, so they weren't going to stop the time, so they had to let him wrestle for that last minute.
I think one of the most that I can recall in recent years, like one of the most prevalent situations where that happened was Finn Balor against Samoa Joe at
that was
Dallas
awesome.
Takeover. It was a great... I think it was Dallas Takeover,
Yeah,
right? It was a great match. Was it Dallas?
It was, but it was I think it was Dallas.
But Joe got busted open within 30 seconds,
it could
and
have
they
been
stopped
so
the
much
match
better.
4 times.
It would have been a classic if they just let him bleed, but unfortunately they stopped it every 2 seconds because Joe got busted open. It's weird. It's strange. It's not professional wrestling. You have a steel cage match, you expect for there to be blood. I know I sound like a savage, but I want blood.
Listen, it is what it is. Wrestling is a show. It is a show. We're not, we are smart enough to know that it is not a real athletic competition, but it's a show about violence and about fighting.
Yeah.
So when you take that out of it, it's kind of like, all right.
Yeah, like why is blood bad, but you're allowed to punch people in the face and tombstone them. But they're like, I don't want to see.
You can't tombstone people anymore.
You can't. But I don't want to see a curb stomp. Kids can do that. Kids can punch kids in the face, and you do that. Eventually, it's just going to be thumb wrestling.
Yeah.
And then someone will break their thumb, and then there'll be nothing. It'll be a staring contest.
But to finish up with this, Braun Strowman wins the match because Roman Reigns tries to spear him, completely misses, goes right into the ambulance.
It's like the bull, the Toro thing.
So then Roman comes back out, beats up Braun, throws him in the back of the ambulance.
Amazing spear from Roman, by the way.
Drives away.
Yeah.
And backs the ambulance up into a truck, attempts murder. Mm-hmm. He tries to kill Braun Strowman.
Your hero, Roman Reigns.
Kurt Angle. One of the best reactions I've seen in WWE TV in a while. Just so good. They throw out that Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins match just to kind of be like, it's, just to try to play up the fact that this guy might be dead, but here's more wrestling to watch.
Yeah, they did that really well. It really took me back to something like WCW Nitro, when it was just like, you don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen right now. Must-watch television. Yep. And obviously, it was a pre-taped thing because you saw the camera angles.
You saw the cuts,
You didn't see Roman actually driving the car. But the way they did it if I was a little younger, I probably would have been gullible and thought it actually happened. But it's still, even though we knew he wasn't in the car getting smashed into it, it's something that is interesting, and I can't wait to see what they do.
Raw is must-watch tonight.
Do they make Roman a full-on heel? I mean, he just attempted murder because he was a sore loser. Or do they continue to say that this is the guy, this is our hero, they gotta attempting
go, this
murderer?
This is full heel. There's no way. Because Kurt Angle tonight's going to take away his match against Brock Lesnar.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's going to say you don't get that match anymore.
But then who gets it?
Well, maybe they'll do like a Fatal 4-Way, or they'll do like a tournament leading up to it, because now they have like 5 or 6 weeks.
I think Braun is actually hurt, and this is a way to write him off television, perhaps. Because he did come back. He did come back really early, so maybe they want his elbow to heal fully. Because notice his elbow was bleeding, so they put fake blood on there as well. It should be interesting, but we only have a few more minutes. Yeah. We have the main event to talk about.
Main event, we tried to talk about it a little bit. It was
Brock wins. Yeah. Unfortunate. I would have liked to have seen Samoa Joe get a clean victory, but like we both said, Joe looked strong throughout the fight, and I think this is only going to go up for Samoa Joe. I expect him to have a big year, possible, title run, possible Royal Rumble winner. We'll see what happens with Samoa Joe. We'll see what happens with Brock Lesnar. I don't know who he's going to fight, so that's why you need to watch Monday Night Raw tonight.
You do. This is a must watch. Listen, they can go in the right direction here with Raw. Mm-hmm. It's been going for the past few months, but this is it. They have their opportunity now to really build some momentum going into SummerSlam and coming out of it.
We'll see. Open it up with a full-on Roman heel turn.
Yes. So we will be back next week to discuss what happened and also to preview Battlegrounds, because that'll be in a week. So, fun. So stay tuned. The 4:30 News Wrap-Up is next. Bye, guys.
Peace.